guys, so in the last video we talked a bit about what you'd need to know before you went out and picked what kit you wanted. So things like the scale and the grade. If you didn't watch that last video and you're not sure on stuff like that, just have a look. Hopefully it'll answer some of your questions. I showed you in the last video that I had this kit, which is the GM Sniper. It's a high grade kit in a 1:144 scale. What we're going to do today is have a look at when you get home, you get your kit out, how you're going to start going around the build. We talked a little bit about reading the instructions in the last video, so again, if you're not sure about that, go back and watch that video. Basically a really easy process. I've already started, so the chest unit I've started. The reason that this is important to know is if you cut your pieces from the runners wrong, you risk creating stress marks. Now, there's nothing wrong with stress marks. If you're a beginner builder, stress marks will happen and that's fine. What I'm showing you for is because if you can minimize those, all the better. Stress marks happen when pressure's been put on the plastic. You tend to find darker color plastics, so something like this in the dark blue will show stress marks more easily. A lighter colour, so this light blue, and definitely white, much easier to get away with it. So this runner is a runner we didn't talk about when I showed you the box and what was in the box in the last video. This is your polycap runner. Now polycaps are a more plastic, a more rubbery sort of plastic to the rest of the kit. These tend to go in where there's movement, so they will go in around the joints. The piece I'm on now is this polycap here. With the polycaps, I cut them close to the piece, don't leave any excess or as little excess as I can. They're fine, they're usually internal pieces. So looking at the instructions, I showed you last time that these pieces here that have these two little lines are going to be important pieces because they'll show you, those two lines will indicate which way the piece goes round. So cutting that out, you can work out that this side is going to be the back end of your head unit, and in that goes. So this is basically your neck. Easy peasy. When we come to the runners of the harder plastic, these are cut slightly differently. When I remove these, again I use the clippers, but I remove the pieces, leaving a tiny amount of excess. So I'll show you now. The pieces come out and there's tiny little nubs where they've been removed. What you do then is you go back in with your craft knife and just gently trim those away until it's smooth and flat. What that does is it makes the likelihood of stress marks less because you're not putting as much pressure on the plastic using the clippers on it. You're giving it a little bit of breathing space, and when you come back in and trim, you can trim down to nothing and avoid some of the stress marks. Now, there are other ways around stress marks. Stress marks can be painted over, is a quick fix. They can be, if you're more experienced and you want to try weathering, that's a brilliant way to cover up a stress mark, a small amount of weathering. You can also create battle damage if you don't want a pristine looking piece. You want it to look like it's been out fighting. Where you might get stress marks can often be good places to put in a bit of battle damage. What I'll do in a later video is show you some weathering techniques to cover up stress marks and also some easy techniques to create battle damage. So what we've done here is we've finished this part of the chest. Here it would ask us to put some stickers on. I'm not going to apply the stickers because I'm going to save it to be able to panel line later. That's basically it for this video. It's a very short and simple one. just to show you, I'll show you the process one more time with a different piece, just so you understand. So the process is to cut, leaving a small amount of excess with the clippers. That's to cut down on the chance of there being stress marks in the plastic. And then with your craft knife, you come back in and trim away that excess until it's a smooth line. A little tip is if you rotate the piece, so you trim away in one direction, then turn the piece and trim away in a different direction, it makes it an easier job because it smooths down both sides of where that nub has been. If you've got any questions on that, feel free to ask me in the comments or send me a message on my Instagram page and I'll try and answer those. Again, a very short and basic video. I'm going to continue to build this kit, and hopefully in the next part of the kit and next video I'll look at some panel lining techniques, which is a quick and effective way of making your kit look nicer. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been useful. If you did enjoy it, like. If you want to watch more basic videos as they come out, subscribe. Hope it's been helpful and have a good day.